family. Happy Sabbath. Y'all can sit down, brothers. All right. Today's class is going to go over my favorite topic. The secrets of being a parent revealed. Yeah, we need some bombs dropped after that one. The secrets of being a parent revealed. All right, we're going to start off with Hebrews 5 and 12. Because contrary to popular belief, everybody is not born. Nobody's born knowing how to raise kids. Nobody. Brothers, raise your hand if you got kids. Sisters, raise your hand if you got kids. Okay, so this class is going to be a good class for y'all. Hebrews 5 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
So the first thing we got to realize is that we must be retaught on how to raise our kids. Because the world say you're supposed to pamper your kids.
The world say you want your son to be tough, make him play football.
Right.
You want him to be a man, get him a girlfriend. Let him go out there and sow his royal oats. That's what the world says.
Sow his royal oats. So God said we got to be retaught. So that goes for the mothers and the fathers. Got to be retaught. Romans 12 and 2.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
So read it again.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
We cannot be conformed to this world. We cannot be conformed to this world. When it goes to our kids, when it goes to discipline, when it goes to encouragement, like Cap say in the world, they say, you want to teach him how to be a man? Put him in football. Put him in wrestling. Let him sow his royal oats. God say, don't be conformed to this world. Read on.
But be ye transformed.
Be ye transformed
by the renewing of your mind.
So this is some things that they say, because I looked this up, and this is what they're teaching us how to raise our kids. Don't discipline them. There's never too much pampering, because a lot of y'all pamper. A lot of worldly brothers and sisters pamper their kids. Too much.
And especially the sisters.
Too much.
You know, what's that saying they be having? That's mama's boy.
Right.
And then you don't want him to be mama's boy. He's 47 and he's still mama's boy.
Right.
You don't want him
stay
to be
at home.
mama's boy no more.
And not only that, they hold the child so long on the hip, the child grows up bow-legged. Like, it be
That boy 2 years old, he don't know how to walk yet?
right.
What's going on around here?
Read that again, bro.
Romans
that
chapter
Romans
12
again.
and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Because it's an agenda. I'm going to tell you something. I think the high is too high. I keep peeking. It's an agenda that's going on that's primarily against our children. The world is, what's the word? Is getting them ready for Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what it is. That's why they say, don't change who your child wants to be. Do you understand? It's a third gender. It's a third gender that they are saying now. What is it?
Gender X.
Gender X.
Gender X.
So that means that the child can grow up and tell you what he is.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that out. It's good. I'm going to get it out the way early.
Go ahead.
Google real quick, Babies. TheyBabies. It's all one word. I'm glad you brought that out. This is Babylon. And I was on the way here. You know, I wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning or something, ready for the Sabbath.
Right.
They got some stuff now where pedophilia is now, you know, they pushing that's natural and all those things. This is Babylon the Great. Click on that first link. Let's see that. Okay. So read that for me. Zoom out some. It's right here in our face. There we go.
Boy or girl, parents raising babies. Let kids decide.
Read the line up under it.
One way of shielding children from their gender stereotypes, keep their biological sex secret.
That is crazy. That's Esau. They babies. They can be whatever they want, is what they are saying. Is what Esau. Back out and go to the video real quick. This is what Officer Gadd talking about. They can be the first one right there. Let's play that little short clip of it.
Having a baby used to be a straightforward proposition. You could have a boy or you could have a girl. But now there's a third option. It's called steep civilizational decline. A handful of parents across America are deliberately keeping their children's sex hidden and instead raising so-called babies. The idea is that only the children themselves should be able to decide whether they are boys or girls, without any of that pesky biological reality getting in the way. It's all very confusing, like a lot of 2018 is. So, of course, we called in our interpreter of all things progressive, our liberal Sherpa, Kathy Aru, founding publisher of Catalina Magazine. She joins us tonight. So, Kathy, goes without saying you're for this, of course.
Yep.
But doesn't this mean if you're going to raise a baby, how would you be able to change your child's diaper? Because the second you change the diaper, of course, you'd no longer be able to pretend that there was a question about whether this was a boy or a girl. You would know.
Well, it's not about pretending. The parent definitely knows the gender. It's about not necessarily labeling the baby. It's about allowing the baby to decide what gender that baby wants to be when that baby can decide, which is around 4 years old. So from 0 to 4, the baby...
How in the hell can a baby decide if they're a boy or a girl? That makes no sense at all.
And real quick, go to Proverbs 22 and 15. This is how outlandish. And these are the people that are teaching our children for 8-9 hours a day. So your son or daughter go to the school, they see a boy kissing another boy, and then the teacher might see him looking confused, like, what's wrong with you? I don't know, what's it? Amaziah? What's going on? Why are you looking confused like that? With Billy and Todd are kissing. That's not right, according to God. No, it's okay. You can be who you want to be.
Hey, but you know who they going to come after? They're going to come after y'all.
Yeah, and then they're going to call you into the PTA like,
Yep.
Your son was looking at 2 other boys kissing, and he looked at them strange and said that that's a sin. What are you teaching them? Okay, maybe I need to look into, what's that, CPA? Okay, read that in Proverbs 21:15.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 15.
Yeah, 22. Go ahead.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
God said from the get-go, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. How in the hell you going to let a kid grow up and decide what he wants to be? Right. You can't do that, because they'll grow up and they'll see girls having fun. And in their mind, they don't understand. They see them having fun, and then daddy is kind of disciplined me. I want to be a girl now because girls have fun all the time. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. That's why we are parents, and it's our job to lead them in the way that they should go. Let's see a little bit more what the devil got to say.
Which is around 4 years old. So from 0 to 4, the baby will not be labeled. The labeling theory will not apply from 0 to 4 years old. The baby will be a baby, neither a boy nor a girl. Whatever gender that baby chooses to be.
What other profound life decisions do we think people ought to be making at the age of 4? Are there any others?
Well,
whether to get a tattoo, whether to get married, enlisting in the military, voting, drinking vodka, smoking Marlboro Reds. Is there anything else that we think 4-year-olds are ready to decide?
This isn't actually a profound life decision. I mean, biologically, there's nothing really going on from 0 to 4 in that area that affects a person's life. Biologically, the experts say that boys and girls, all genders are alike. The boy's brain, the male brain, might be a little larger. The female's language might be a little bit more advanced.
Okay. No
maybe,
sexism on my show. Hold on. Whoa, slow down. No, here you're out there like
they say maybe
boys'
those
brains are
true.
larger. And I just want to say that kind of toxic masculinity has no place on this program.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
But that's all they can think of.
The bottom line is, all they can think of, like, difference in brain size, difference in genitalia, difference in bone structure.
Perhaps.
Just minor things like minor things like that. Not perhaps, like factually. So those are not minor things. Those are definitive things.
Minor.
So, like, why would you not tell your kids about that? At some point they're going to drop trow and look down and say, wait, we look different. And you're going to be like, no, you don't. You're exactly the same.
And
that's lying, isn't it?
That's when the child, they say, is around 4 years old. So around 0 to 4, we're not going to say to a little female, a girl that you're a little princess, or boy, you're such a tiger. The labels are gone. You're not going to put that outside influence on a child. You're just going to be neutral. Everything's going to be neutral.
The outside influence of biological reality.
Not
so would you do this with anything
perception.
else? But could we decide that we're not going to acknowledge temperature or weather or traffic? And you could just say, you know what? I don't think it's raining outside. Or you can decide whether it's raining outside. I mean, the weatherman says it is, that there's snow on the ground. Or the weather, you know what I mean? The weatherman says that it's 15 degrees out. But I'm going to, you know what I mean? Just kind of make up my own reality.
The parents who are really leading this movement.
We acknowledge biology and nature as real, right?
But the biology, the parents who came out with this, who came out in the New York Times and started this baby awareness, this gender-neutral awareness for babies, basically said, why should people be so obsessed if your baby is going to be a boy or a girl? Who cares about that area? It's actually a little human. We are bringing a little human into the world. Who cares
Y'all see the agenda that they have for our kids? What's up, Zadok? Mike, y'all.
Real quick, going on the conditioning of the children, Deacon ASAP had brought this out a little while ago. On the cartoons now, Nickelodeon had just made history. One Day Cartoons is featuring a same-sex couple, as well as Cartoon Network. They also have a show that's blurring the lines between male and female. Having it's a male and a female, and they merge together to form one being. So Deacon ASAP had brought that out in one of his Friday Night Raw classes.
I'm gonna tell you, that's crazy, man. That's some crazy stuff. Hey, I'm going to say something. Give me Jeremiah 1:5. Because she said that, and I know it's a little off the subject, but she said the man and a girl baby and a man baby is the same in the womb. Get Jeremiah 1:5.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb,
before your mother gave birth to you,
I sanctified thee.
Read.
And I ordained thee a prophet.
The Most I say, I knew you was a man prophet in your mother's belly. We're not the same. A man child and a woman child is not the same in the mother's womb.
Right.
The Most I say, he knew Jeremiah was going to be, he ordained him a prophet in the belly. Get Isaiah 1. Get Isaiah 1 and 9 real quick. 1 and 9.
Isaiah.
So as parents, we have a huge job to do. We got a huge job to do because the world, I'm going to tell you, they might count us off. They might count us, yeah, they lost, they gone, but we going to get their kids. That's why they starting already in elementary school teaching kids about anal sex. Teaching kids how to please themselves already. Baby can't even say a full sentence. but he know what a sex toy look like. Go ahead, read that.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9.
Come on.
Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant.
That very small remnant is what you see in this building. It's what you see throughout the four corners of the world. Brothers coming back to their nationality, sisters coming back to the truth, repenting, keeping God's commandments. Read on.
We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
That means everybody in here will be okay with a baby. Everybody in here will be okay with pedophilia.
You know how that is seen in the world too, because all of us used to think this way. You know, we might not express, but we would say, as long as they don't bother me, I ain't got no problem with it. As long as they don't bother me, I'm cool with it. You would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah. You'd have been in the club and some big burly dude would squeeze you on your buttocks. And next thing you know, they'd have had you. You'd have been gone home thinking about it. Like, yeah, I couldn't tell the difference between that thing right there. It kind of felt
Hey,
good.
because they got men who got got surgery and they look better than most women. Can't tell today. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, I think it's a game.
Because look, what would have happened is you'd have been in that club, you'd been 2-3 drinks in, feeling good, and you'd have seen that Faby come through there,
Hey,
took them home, they done got everything replaced, and then you lay with it, and you find out later that it was the same as you, and now your thoughts like, well, hell, it don't even matter.
yeah,
It
that's
didn't
what it
matter.
is.
It
I
felt
like
the
that.
same.
I like that.
I'm gonna keep doing with that. You'd have been just like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Hey, this country can turn Terry Crews into Halle Berry, man. It's a wicked country, man. Wicked as hell. Go to 2nd Ezra 14:34. So the secrets of being a parent has to be revealed. Has to be revealed. 2nd Ezra 14 and 34.
2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 34.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter started homeschool yesterday, right? And I told my wife this. She logged into the thing. She used my tablet, logged into the thing. And I'm like, damn, guess who I see on the screen? Esau. I said, damn, we just can't get away from him. Even when you're homeschooled, they homeschooling you. I said, man, we got to do something about this. Read that.
Therefore, if so be that ye would subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive.
Shall be what?
Kept alive.
We got to reform our hearts on the understanding of how to be a parent. Because nobody comes in, I'm going to tell you, we don't come in here knowing how to be a parent. Because the world taught us wrong. Our mother taught us wrong. Our father taught us wrong. The school system taught us wrong. We don't know how to be parents because we wasn't washed with the word. Read it again.
2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 34. Therefore, if so be that ye would subdue your own understanding
Subdue your understanding.
and reform your hearts,
Change your minds. Realize that what we've been taught is wrong. Read.
ye shall be kept alive.
Read on.
And after death,
And after death,
ye shall obtain mercy.
1 Corinthians 14:40. So we got to understand, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, that we got to be retaught. We got to be retaught how to be a parent because we don't know. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Read it again.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Now I'm going to ask a question. You know I like to ask questions. Fathers, raise your hand. Now, if y'all don't want to be called, though, because I'm about to call on you, don't raise your hand. Lyle. Read that again.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Do your kids have a schedule?
Yes, they do.
All praises. All praises. Who else? Who else raised their hand? Abraham. Yeah, I ain't gonna raise my hand this time. Do your kids have a schedule?
Yes, sir.
Why is a schedule so important for your kids to have?
because it sets structure. It sets order in the house. They know they clear on the expectations what to do next.
I'm glad you said that. They're clear on the expectations on what's about to come next. Read it again. Now we read this, but we don't implement this with our kids. We read, let all things be done decently and in order, but then when we see our kids, they just all out of order. No order, no structure. Read it again.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
You gonna say something? Oh, I'm sorry. Read it again.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Read Jeremiah 31:22. Let all things be done decently and in order. So we gotta make a schedule on what our kids are allowed to do. Like our kids shouldn't be allowed to sit in front of a TV all day. Kids shouldn't be allowed to paint on the walls, write all over the walls.
Kids shouldn't be allowed to go to sleep whenever they get tired.
It's gotta be a scheduled date. It's gotta be a scheduled time. Read that. But something went wrong in the role. It's been flipped. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Read on.
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
Read.
A woman.
A what?
A woman shall compass a man.
Today, the woman wants to be the man. And it will never work. I was in somebody's house, and they asked me, how many kids you have? I said, I got 3 kids. My wife is pregnant. She said, that's too many. That's too many kids. It was an Edomite that said this. And I looked at it, I said, that's not enough. I said, that's not enough. What are you talking about? That's too many kids. I feel sorry for her. Why you feel sorry for my wife bringing forth seed to me?
Right.
That's because they don't want us to prosper, y'all.
Right.
But our women now, they have that mentality. No, I can't have no more. I don't want no more kids. I'm done having kids. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show you how our foremothers rolled concerning kids. Jeremiah 29:32. I'm sorry, Genesis 29:32. I'm going to show y'all something how our foremothers rolled with that. Genesis 29:32. Told y'all better be ready.
Genesis.
Y'all better take notes. This is how our foremothers rolled, y'all. This for all the sisters that's desiring to be married and those that are married. Now, hear me. I didn't say single. Desire to be married and those that are married. This is how y'all foremothers rolled. Read that.
Genesis chapter 29 and verse 32.
Come on.
And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord have looked upon my affliction.
Watch this.
Now therefore my husband.
What, my what?
My husband
Read on.
will love me.
Oh, wait a minute. She said, I just had another son. I know he gonna love me now. She didn't say, damn, you want another one?
Right.
She didn't say that. She said, I know he gonna love me. Thank you, Lord.
She ain't say, look what you did
Look
to me.
what you did to me. She didn't say that. Our foremother Leah didn't say that.
Right.
Can we read that again, brother?
Genesis chapter 29 and verse 32.
Come on.
And Leah conceived and bare a son. And she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord have looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband.
My what?
My husband will love me.
She said, man, I got him another son. I know he gonna love me. Read on. Watch this.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord have heard that I was hated, he have therefore given me this son also.
Give me another son. Thank you, Lord.
And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again.
She had another one.
And
you understand, if our foremother had the mindset that our sisters have today, nobody in here would be here. Nobody in here would be here. It would have been 2 tribes.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
And also, they not worried about, I got to wait till my body snap back.
Right. Right.
Oh, I got to wait till my body snap back for me to, no.
Break it out.
No, they wasn't concerned about that. They was not worried about that. Sisters, y'all understand that? The Most High don't care about your figure.
He don't.
Bring forth these children.
That's right.
That's
Come on.
right.
Read that again. Read it again. Snap back. Trying to snap back. Lord ain't worrying about that. We got to replenish the earth with righteous seed.
That's right.
Read it again, bro.
Genesis chapter 29 and verse 33.
No, read verse 34.
Verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
Read on.
And she conceived again.
She had another son.
And bare a son.
Read.
And she said, now will I praise the Lord.
Now will I thank the Lord.
Therefore she called his name Judah.
Read on. Watch this, y'all.
And left.
Hold on. You gonna say something?
No, that's a good point. Now, as we read through the progression of this right here, 32, 33, she's having 1 son, 2 sons, 3 sons, 4 sons. All through this thing, you can see the joy that she has because she's bringing forth kids to her son. She's happy to do this thing because she know this is going to make him happy.
Right.
Go ahead.
Read on, though. Watch this. Read 30 and 1.
Genesis chapter 30 and verse 1.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this part right here. Read that.
And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children,
Didn't bring him no children.
Rachel envied her sister.
She was mad as hell. She said, damn, I ain't got no children for Jacob. Read on.
Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die.
She wanted children so bad. And you know, but you see that, though, even today. Sisters that can have kids, they don't really care to have them. They take it for granted. Sisters that can't have kids, they pleading with the Most High to have kids. That's the mentality of Esau, man. Esau is on our brains. Get Joshua 1 and 12. I'm going to show y'all something. Joshua 1 and 12. Brothers. What is our job as prophets, y'all? Who can answer that? What is our job? What is our job to do? Officer Amir, what is our job? Okay, what do we call that? Where are we in? What are we doing when we go out? Officer Pagiel. We go to what? Say it on the mic, brother.
We go to war.
We go to what?
We go to war.
Read Joshua 1 and 12.
Joshua chapter 1 and verse 12.
Come on.
And to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, spake Joshua, saying,
Read this. Watch this, y'all.
remember the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, saying, the Lord your God have given you rest, and have given you this land.
Because the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh had already got their land first. And they wanted to stay back. Moses said, nah, y'all can't stay back. Y'all got to go fight with your brothers so that every other tribe can get their land. Watch this. Read on.
Verse 14.
Watch this.
Your wives.
Your what?
Your wives.
Uh-huh.
Your little ones.
And your children.
And your the cattle.
And the cattle.
Shall remain in the land.
Shall do what?
Remain in the land.
Read on.
Which Moses gave you on this side
Read.
Jordan.
Read on.
But ye shall pass.
But who?
But ye shall pass.
But the men shall what?
Pass before your brethren.
So wait a minute. It says the wives, children, and cattle had to stay back while the men went to war. Hold on, wait a minute. So you telling me the wives had to take care of the children and the cattle? The wives had a big job to do.
Right.
Today, we take this thing for granted. You know what I'm saying? We go to war, we come home, the house dirty. We come home, oh, where you been? You ain't spend enough time. Our foremothers, you got to understand, Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh was gone. Just the wives and the children and the cattle had to stay back. Ain't no telling how long that
Right.
Ain't no telling how long that took for them to get the land for all the tribes before they went back to their wives and children. This is something different.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.